Yo, what is up everybody? It's Retep here. I'm here to teach you guys some VGC today. Today I'm going to be teaching you guys about speed control. Speed control is one of the most important things in all of VGC. It is how speed tiers are going to be interacting. And there are two main speed control options that teams like to utilize in VGC, and that is Tailwind and that is Trick Room. You're going to need to know these two things very, very well. You're going to have to understand it. So I'm here to teach you what they are and how to build with them. So Tailwind, for those who don't know, Tailwind is a flying type move that doubles your team's speed for 4 turns. Okay, and there is dynamic speed. So as soon as this goes off, your team speed is doubled. Okay, and it lasts for 4 turns. That is very, very powerful, and there are a lot of ways to get it up, and there are a lot of different setters you can use, and I have some of the biggest, most common ones that you are going to be seeing in Pokemon Champions. One of them is Pelipper. A lot of people like to run Pelipper because it sets up the rain with its drizzle ability. As soon as you swap it in, rain's going to go up, and it has a great support move in Tailwind that can boost the speed of your rain team with your Basculegion, your Swampert, and whatever rain mons you want to use. That's a really good option. Corviknight, also a great Tailwind user. Very, very bulky Tailwind setter here. It normally runs like Iron Defense, Body Press, Bulk Up, and Tailwind, something like that. Very, very good. But what you also need to know is that Tailwind for these mons like Pelipper and Corviknight, they are going to go up based on their speed tier. So Corviknight is only 67 speed. Don't make the joke, but it's unfortunate that that's the number. But anyway, it's not very fast. 67 is not a very fast Pokemon. So they could just knock out your Corviknight before you can get the Tailwind up. So you do have to position it well. Same thing with Pelipper, only 65 speed. So you gotta make sure you can go for it in a safe position. And then you have people like Whimsicott, Pokemon like Whimsicott with an ability like Prankster. Prankster, for those who don't know, makes your status moves priority. Okay, so Tailwind is a status move. So Tailwind with Prankster goes up immediately. You don't have to worry about your Pokemon speed. Even though Whimsicott's really fast, Prankster makes it even faster. As soon as you click Tailwind, that shit's going up. Like, the only way you're stopping that Tailwind from going up is you have to click another priority move into the Whimsicott, like Fake Out or something like that. That's the only way. So Whimsicott is a lot safer to get your Tailwind up. That's probably like the safest Tailwind you can go. But, you know, Pokemon like Whimsicott, outside of setting up Tailwind, is a little bit weaker. It's not very strong, doesn't have a strong special attack stat or anything like that. It's mostly just support. Click Tailwind, click other support moves like Helping Hand, like, it gets tons of good moves. Switcheroo, Charm, it's been used. Fake Tears has been used. Sunny Day, Trick Room, lots of support moves on Whimsicott, but it's very, very important to just get the Prankster Tailwind up. That's mostly what you want to use with Whimsicott. Another one is Talonflame. Talonflame has a very unique ability called Gale Wings. What Gale Wings does is sets priority moves for flying type at full HP. So when Talonflame gets set onto the battlefield at full HP, it will have a priority Tailwind. Okay, because Tailwind is a flying move. Okay, so at full HP, Talonflame can get a priority Tailwind. Okay, but there are ways to stop Gale Wings. Again, Fake Out, any type of chip damage or anything. As long as Talonflame is not at full HP, it won't be a priority Tailwind. Now, it is still very, very fast. 126 speed is very fast. So even if you not have it at full HP for whatever reason, it can still be a very fast Tailwind. So these 4, Pelipper, Corviknight, Whim, Talonflame, are probably the most common Tailwind users you're going to see. There are other ones like Mega Charizard or Mega Salamence, sometimes run Tailwind on their sets as well. But these 4, if you see them, they most likely got Tailwind. So you're gonna have to know how to counter that. Now the other main source of speed control is the exact opposite of Tailwind, and that is Trick Room. Okay, Trick Room, if you didn't know, changes the speed tiers. It sets a field condition where the turn order is reversed. So basically, slow Pokemon then go first. So it's going to reverse the speed. Really fast Pokemon are going to go last. Really slow Pokemon are going to go first. Okay, and that lasts for 5 turns. Now, Trick Room itself, like the move itself, is a negative priority move. This will be the last move used on the turn. Okay, it is negative priority. Okay, so it will go last. Set it up. That's very important to know. You can't just like priority Trick Room. You can't just like set Trick Room that turn and then start sweeping. It's you set Trick Room on one turn, and then the next turn is going to be in effect. Okay, that's very important to know. Now, some very good Trick Room setters are Sinistcha and Farigiraf. These are the 2 main Trick Room setters that we're going to have at the beginning of Champions that you guys are going to have to worry about. Sinistcha, very, very good stats here. Bulky, 106 defense. People run it a lot of bulk. You know, they're going to max out their EVs, make it really, really bulky. It also has 2 amazing abilities that I think are both very, very good. One of them, Hospitality, when Sinistcha swaps in and is going to heal its partner by 1/4. But its other ability is Heat Proof, which halves the damage of fire type attacks, which I've ran into multiple times. On a Trick Room Sinistcha, Heat Proof is very, very annoying to deal with because since it is a grass type, Heat Proof basically eliminates its fire weakness, and that makes it even harder to get off the field and makes setting up Trick Room even easier. One of the best ways to counter a Trick Room setter is to fake it out. Okay, you're going to see a lot of fake out in this meta, and fake out normally shuts down a Trick Room setter, but Sinistcha is Ghost type, so Ghost is immune to normal moves, so Sinistcha is immune to fake out as well. So getting it off the field can be pretty annoying, and stopping Trick Room from going up can be pretty difficult in this meta. You need to hit it with a very strong Ghost move to, you know, secure that knockout. Something like a Mega Gengar, a Mega Frostlass, or like a very strong Dark move, maybe from an Incineroar or something, like King Gambit. You really need to hit it with a really, really strong move to knock it out. It's very, very bulky, it's very annoying to deal with, and very, very good to use. Okay, once you get Trick Room set up, it has healing with the signature move Matcha Gotcha. That is basically like spread Giga Drain. Very, very good move and heals it back up. Like I said, with the Hospitality, it can heal its partner. It also has Strength Sap, which heals it as well. Like, this mon is very good. This mon is very annoying to play against. Super, super good Pokemon. You will see this mon a lot in Pokemon Champions. The other one is Farigiraf. Now, Farigiraf has a signature ability called Armor Tail. Armor Tail stops all priority moves on the field. It protects itself and its partner from priority moves. Okay, you cannot use any priority moves against the side that Farigiraf is on while it is on the field. Okay, this is very, very busted because again, it stops fake out. You cannot fake out Farigiraf at all with Armor Tail. Can't happen. Okay, so again, for the same reason, it's hard to knock out Sinistcha or stop Sinistcha's Trick Room. It's very hard to stop Farigiraf's Trick Room. And again, it is normal Psychic. To knock it out, you're gonna have to bring a really, really strong Dark type attack. I would say a really strong Bug attack, but there's not a whole lot of those available unless you are trying to be funny and run like Mega Beedrill or something like that, which I do not recommend. Bug type moves are just not common at all. So normal Psychic is very, very good. You're only weak to Bug and Dark, so that's very, very strong. Farigiraf has 120 HP, which is very, very strong. It is very bulky. People run it like max defense, max HP, max special defense, max HP with like a Citrus Berry or something to make it very, very bulky and hard to deal with. you basically have to double up into this thing and hope that you hit it hard enough to prevent the Trick Room, which is very, very strong, okay? Now, once you have Trick Room up, you're going to need mons that want to sweep under the Trick Room. There's tons and tons of Pokemon that are very strong under Trick Room that are really slow. One of them is Torkoal. Torkoal sets up Drought, which is the sun, boosting its fire type moves. Most people run like Eruption, Heat Wave, Earth Power, pretty standard. It's pretty standard set here. Eruption in the sun under Trick Room just kind of sweeps teams. Like, if you can get Torkoal set up, it just starts going ham. Another one is Ursaluna. You're going to see Ursaluna everywhere as well. Ursaluna has ability Guts, which, while it is status, gives it a 50% boost. So people run a Flame Orb to burn itself, get the Guts boost, and then they just start sweeping with either Earthquake, Headlong Rush, Facade. Facade is really fucking strong because Facade doubles power while Ursaluna is statused. So it gets the Guts boost from the Flame Orb, and Facade turns into a 140 base power move, which is just ridiculous. It just KOs anything. I almost KO'd a Mega Dragonite through multi-scale with Facade. That is how strong it is. It was in the red. Okay, Facade on Ursaluna is just ridiculous. People normally run like max attack, max HP, and just hit like a truck, okay? Once you set up Trick Room, lots of options. You can just start sweeping. Ursaluna Torkoal is pretty much all you need. There's lots of other mons you can run as well. But yeah, Trick Room is very, very powerful. It's all about setting up the Trick Room. Once you get the Trick Room off, the game becomes, you know, can you KO all of your opponent's Pokemon within those 4 turns? Which, if you play it right, you should be able to do with your Ursaluna. And yeah, Trick Room is very powerful. Tailwind's very powerful. You're gonna see these very, very often, and I highly recommend having at least one of these on your team, if not both. I like to run both because it is very hard to plan against a team that has both. If you have to plan against a fast mode and a slow mode, which is very, very strong, very, very good, I recommend that. Or at least having one on your team. The threat of Trick Room or the threat of Tailwind is very, very powerful. Speed control is everything within this game. There are also moves that people like to run that lower opponent speed that can also be a form of speed control. A lot of water types and other Pokemon get the move Icy Wind. Icy Wind is a spread ice move that lowers opponent's speed by 1. This is a good, very, very good support move people like to use to also kind of have speed control if you don't run Tailwind or Trick Room. Icy Wind is just a very, very common support move. If you go here, you can just look up Icy Wind. There's tons and tons of good Icy Wind users throughout the game. Very, very common move. Same thing with the move Electro Web. It's another really, really good move for speed control. This is normally just electric types, but you see them run it for speed control as well. I wouldn't say that having just Icy Wind or just Electro Web is viable, but having Tailwind and Icy Wind user and Electro Web user can be very good, because you're probably going to run into another team that has Tailwind and you want to outspeed your opponent, because both teams can have Tailwind up at the same time. So you might want to run a secondary move like Icy Wind to slow your opponent down, so then your team can then outspeed them under Tailwind. That's very, very strong. So speed control is everything. If you can go first before your opponent, that means your opponent is not hitting you first. When you go first, you have all the chances to flinch, more chances to deal status effects and stuff like that. You know, speed is everything in Pokemon. If your opponent can't go, they can't hit you, you know, obviously that's very, very powerful, very important. So I would recommend having forms of speed control on every single team that you play. And yeah, if you guys like this video and want to learn more about VGC, please subscribe to the YouTube and let me know what you guys want me to talk about next. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Peace!